going to teach us something about the D major scale Valparaiso Vikings. I chose Mr. M to do this, I didn't warn him, just because I think he's kind of new to Valparaiso, and I want him to tell us what he does besides play bass.
Well, I'm a professional musician in my former life in New York City. My wife is from Valpo, graduated from VHS.
Megan Weiss, does anyone remember Megan Weiss? She was one of our star global players.
She wouldn't admit it again. Yeah, and so she came up with the product of the public school system and went on to travel the world and play professionally, which is very good thing. But we're back here in Valparaiso to kind of do the next chapter of our life and go to the local market. But it is really fun to be back working with the orchestra. So here's an amazing But it's an amazing program, and I spent 11.5 years working in inner city schools trying to implement similar programs. And I just ask them to be very thankful for what you have in this community and don't take it for granted and be an advocate for what the opportunity you're trying to get, because otherwise you'll see it go the way that it is in New York City, and it's not pretty.
So you'll find Mr. M's name on our list of private tutors, or visit the Old World Market. Are you still having
that was last Saturday.
Okay, can you just briefly teach us what Valparaiso Vikings will be?
Sure, so Valparaiso Vikings. We call it pepperoni pizza in New York, but here we call it Valparaiso Vikings. Everyone, can we see your air bows? Nice straight, local. Fifth thumb. Fifth thumb. The Valparaiso Vikings, starting down low, right? So I always start down low with violins this way, and cellos and bass. Valparaiso Vikings.
Valparaiso Vikings.
Everyone, let's see you guys do it too. Hold up your finger, thumb. Tap your bunny ears. We have a bunny with ears. It's eating the bow. And then we turn it sideways. And we go. And just repeat after me. Valparaiso Vikings. Oh, I can see everybody doing down low first. Valparaiso Vikings.
Valparaiso Vikings.
Very nice. Okay. Give yourself a
name listed also, and one of the things it says next to her husband's name is that he coaches garage bands. Your husband is very much into, I don't know if you heard her say, her husband performs with the Blue Man Group occasionally. He he's really into rhythm and things. And so not only can you get fine string instruction through Amber, but her husband gives wonderful contemporary rock kind of lesson too. Can you help our cellos and basses as we tell a little story about Mary and her little lamb? Miss A, I need her expertise because there's little stuff goes on there. This is a story about Mary and her little lamb. Mary and her little lamb take a walk down Campbell Street to the wonderful Auckland Gardens, and they walk along to this tune starting on F sharp. And it goes. And you see, it was going to be a happy day because they were going to have a picnic in Auckland Gardens. So they started skipping. Why, they were so happy they decided to start running. And guess what? That silly little lamb ran so fast he ran right into a tree, conked himself on the head, passed out, heard birds flying around his head. Heard birds? Oh, I heard something. Okay, while those birds were flying around the little lamb's head, Mary was quite concerned because the little lamb was looking kind of like La La Land. Mary was very concerned. And in her concern, she sang to the lamb with a little. Don't worry, the lamb's really okay, just passed out a little bit, because the lamb right now is having a very strange dream. The little lamb lying there on pavement sees the great pyramids of Egypt and camels. And here's this very strange music saying, I'm sure. Just about then, the little lamb started to wake up and realize why those weren't camels, those were horses. And they were horses on their way to the rodeo. And Mary said, what are you